Hey everyone, this is just going to be a quick overview of the process that I use when compiling and working with notes for my literature review. So I will show you the Excel template that I developed, and if you like it, you can go ahead and easily create something like that on your own computer. So I'll switch to that. So I did it in a few different steps. So first of all, wherever you take notes, you can just dump them into a page like this. I have 3 columns set up here. The first one is source, and in this column I've inserted the whole citation and left just enough room to see this so I can easily do my in-text citations. But in here you can see that it's formatted with APA, so that's available at any time. The next one is just a very small column, and it just has a period in it, and that will be used as I'm working with my notes to just fill in the cell to indicate that it's been used, but in this case it also prevents the text from the source from running into other columns. So for example, if I did not have these here, then the source just takes over and it's hard to see where one ends and another begins. So you put this period here and it prevents that from happening. And then in this column, it's notes. And for my purposes, I just use paraphrase notes for the most part. If I did use a exact quote, I made sure to indicate that in here. And for all of these, except for the overview ones, I have a page number listed so that if I want to go back and refer to it for more context about what was happening in that part of the article, it's easy to find where my paraphrase came from. Okay, so this is just where I dumped all of my notes. So if you're creating this, you can go ahead and just put your notes here as you're reading the articles. That works well. So you can see they're not in alphabetical order necessarily. They kind of jump around a bit. Okay, and also since you're going to have your sources in here, it's easy to just create them all in Excel here. And I thought I would also show this for citation purposes. So these are the sources as you'll see on my screen as I'm scrolling through. Okay, so once you have all of your notes, you want to figure out how you can organize them and sort through them. So for me, I had an outline and I just have that pasted here so you can see. I personally like to see colors. That makes it easy for me to visually see where the separation is from different sections of information. So I came up with some different color codes based on the larger sections of my outline. And I looked here to see which colors would differentiate well within each color family, I'm calling it. So I have one main color header and then different sub-colors, I guess. And there's some notes here about what I did if you'd like to read about that further. But as I started working on my notes, I would color them based on this. So I'll switch to this tab where this is what I use for a working tab, and you can see where everything is colored in the cells here. Okay, so there's a lot to look at here. So again, you can see that this B column is filled in for the ones that I put in my paper, and the ones that I did not use in my paper just have a blank white cell with the period. So as I'm scrolling through here, if I wanted something more with this section, I could say, oh, I haven't used these yet. So it's very quick to know what you have and haven't used yet. Okay, so I talked about these 3 columns on the other tab. There's 2 other columns here, and what I ended up doing in this one, it's like a first level sort of my outline. So for me, I ended up using the first letter of the color as my code. So all of the blues start with a B, and then this was level 2 within the B, so that corresponds to this. I ended up cutting section 1. You can see B2, B3, B4, and you can see the colors changing as I'm scrolling here. Go down to B5, okay. And then, so it's easy to use your filters to just narrow down to one section if you want to just look at that, or you can see it easily as you're scrolling because of the colors. Also, for sections that are a little bit bigger and you want subheadings, I added another sort column here just so it's a quick visual indicator, and you can further sort here. So if I wanted to look at all of my B4 section, for example, I could do that, and then my subsections, I have these things. So if I wanted everything related to Zoom, then I can see most of these came from a couple of different authors, but it's all narrowed down. So if I decide that I want to work on the Zoom section of my paper, I can just filter B4 for my first sort, first sort criteria and then my second sort criteria, and just boom, everything that's on the screen right here is something that I can consider writing into that paper. So if you've structured things so that your sorting can kind of be in alignment with your outline, then this will make it super easy as you're sorting through your information as you're preparing to write your literature review. So if you like this, you can just take a screenshot of this and set up the columns similarly. I'll just hover here so you can see I have 15 15 width and then 0.5 width, 55, 13.86, 17.86. You can adjust these as needed. I like to work on half of my screen with notes, half of my screen with articles, so everything is side by side. So hopefully this is helpful and gives you some good ideas for how to work with your own notes in your own literature review. Thanks for watching.